forever and ever. Stay in my heart. Hello. Hello. Hello, y'all. Oh, come on in. From the moment I wake up. Hey, Kay, how are you? From the moment I wake up, before I put on my makeup, I say for you. Hey, Wordsmith. Hey, Reggie. Hey, Brandon. Forever and ever, you stay in my heart and I will love you. Hey, Coco. Hey, King. Forever. I am good. I am. I've been watching some good shows. I watched Becoming by Michelle Obama. I thought that was interesting. There was some points she made that kind of annoyed me, but overall it was decent. I have been. I mean, how you? I'm in this space when people ask me how am I normally say, I'm fine. But how fine can you be during a pandemic? I'm not really for sure. I'm comfortable at home. I said this on my Twitter. I'm really comfortable at home, but I am very uncomfortable with the uncertainty of the world. Like I feel like Rona is getting closer and closer. I got people who I'm friends with who's, nobody in my circle has been affected by Rona in regards to like deaths, but there's been people that are now who are in my circle who's the people in their circle has been affected by Rona. I have a friend whose uncle passed away. So it's like it feels like Rona is like creeping up in my life. I kind of experienced this at the end of the decade of the first 2000 decade, like 2007, 2008, 2009. It felt like is this appropriate? During that time of my life, a lot of people with HIV was were revealing themselves to me, and it seems like it was before because I grew up in the 90s. It was all secretive. People weren't telling you if they were positive because that's their business, and you didn't really find out until something happened that kind of tipped you off. But at the end of like 2000s, a lot of people were kind of coming out and being unafraid to talk about their positive status. And at that particular time in my life, it seemed like so many people around me were either confiding in me about their status or they just so happened to be in my life. So it was like it was just all around, and I was like, oh, and it was just kind of it was so it at no previous time in my life had it been so in my face close where you have to deal with this, you have to deal with the things you say, you have to deal with the jokes you may unintentionally make. It was definitely a time when I learned that you really have to be really careful what you say because you don't know, especially in the LGBT community, there are little jokes that people say that can be really harmful to people who may be positive or da 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 da. And I'm not going to act like I'm perfect. During my younger years, this was kind of normal. We would have little cute names for it, and so during that time, I had to really learn, like, yo, this is not appropriate to joke about, and you don't know who in your life this is affecting secretly or openly, or you know what I'm saying. So it was a very different time. So I say all of that to say this. It reminded me of the feeling of how it was This moment is reminding me of the feeling. I know this is different, but I'm just talking about my feeling about it. It feels like it's getting closer and closer and closer. And so, yeah, hope that I hope y'all understand that. Have you seen the trial of Gabriel Fernandez? I tried to start watching it, but it just didn't keep my attention, or maybe I was just distracted. What should we watch for Friday? Interesting. I want y'all to watch the Grapevines episode about Asian Americans. I want y'all to watch that and tell me what y'all think, because I want to talk about it Friday. Let's see. I'm happy to believe I've seen so many people die because of this virus. Yeah, but you're an essential worker, aren't you, Kay? So you like a person that works in like caretaking and hospital, right? Yeah, so you have a different vantage point than the rest of us. You're in the trenches. But thank you for your service, definitely. I really can't say I feel comfortable at home. Yeah, your entire you. Well, thank you. Did I say hi, Coco? Hey, Coco. Um, yeah. So I'm comfortable at home. Like I love being at home. I love, my house reflects the love. I have my ancestor altar over there. I might give y'all a tour, but it's kind of messy in here. Later on. I have my ancestor altar over here. I have pictures of black women and trans women all over my walls. Not this one because I've removed the part, but I think I'm moving it. But y'all can see this one. That's a picture of Teak Milan. You probably can't see those over here. I'm moving stuff. So this area right here, this is, of course, Tracy Africa, um, Diane Carroll, Josephine Baker. This is a piece of artwork from a non-binary transmasculine person that they did for me. Of course, that's James Baldwin, Fannie Lou Hamer, me and my little brother. Just a different I'm putting more pictures up or whatever. Yeah, these lamps are classic. They're from I have two of them. Yes, and of course Marilyn Monroe, because despite her being a white woman, I do think she represents trying to please a system that will kill you. When you try, Marilyn Monroe represents the woman who when you try to aspire to that peak femininity, it'll kill you. Like it can lead to your death. You'll never please everybody. You're always going to be the Jezebel. You are always going to. She's just a reminder that white femininity doesn't work, even though the illusion is that it can work for people, but it doesn't. Patriarchy will still kill you. So that's what she's represents in my mind. So that's why I don't mind her being on my wall. She's a reminder of that. But yes, I love my home. I don't know, I don't want to show that. Do I want to show that? No, I don't. I have a bookshelf on my thing, but I have some artwork that I did. I don't want to show it because it's ugly. But yes, these lamps are from the 60s. And they are so cute. And when I do YouTube videos that are like not live, I have one on each side of me, so you can't see them, but they give off this sickening glow as light, and I love it. Um, What else? How do I feel about the word Karen? Oh, I think that's hilarious. I think that's that's akin to like white racism. That's akin to um, them motherfuckers just want to be oppressed. Motherfuckers just want to be oppressed, and they want to find a way not to be held accountable for their racism. They want their racism, their feelings, us having a tool to fight back. They want to be able to make it similar to words like nigger, even though they have vast different um, effects on their lives and vast different legacies and vast different history. So comparing the N word to Karen, get the fuck out of here. You are whack. Thank you, Cammie, so much. Thank you so much. All of y'all donations have been going to our Black Trans Advocacy COVID Relief Fund. And we were able to raise $8,000, and we were able to send out many grants to Black trans people. Actually, on our show that's coming out tomorrow, we actually talk about how there have been cisgender people applying for the trans COVID fund to try to get money, and we're so offended by that. But we'll talk about that on the show. I got to edit it and put it out tomorrow. But literally, cisgender people, like white cis men, cishet married men, have been sneaking and trying to apply for the funds. Ugh, so annoying. But we were able to raise $8,000 and help people either with their keeping their phones on, because we know that there are escorts out here who are stuck because of this. They're stuck in different places, and it's hard to because if you're a sex worker, it's hard to kind of have clients and get back home and and stuff like that. So it's crazy. It's crazy out here. So y'all have helped us. Whoever has donated, or if you're a patron on our podcast, we have been able to donate and find resources for people to get home who were, because think about when this COVID shit popped off, some people were traveling escorts and they couldn't get home because planes stopped and all that kind of stuff. And they couldn't make any money to get home because clients were social distancing and all was some not. So, and then sometimes people have like OnlyFans and stuff, but that's just one source of income. And other things are not. So we're just really trying to help people, and your donations have helped with that. So thank you so much, Cammie, for donating. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's so funny to me because the joke is so old, and they're just catching on to it. Right. But they were doing it about Becky too, Reggie. I didn't know there was a K-word fiasco. They're reaching to say it's the same as the N-word. Yeah, they're reaching as hell. No shade, but white people, colonizer, aren't so bright. However, they know how to turn a profit on others' idea. Absolutely. They know how to spin shit to benefit white supremacy. And by that, I don't mean all white people. So, Cammie, you don't have to say, I don't mean all white people. We know you're among people who know that you don't mean all white people. We know there's exceptional crackers. We know there's exceptional woke crackers who, know that they people ain't shit. We know that. So, you don't have to explain. We like when I talk about men, we don't need to say not all men. We know not all men. We know there's a very few select select men that don't do trash ass shit. Just like we know there's a very few select white people that don't do trash ass shit. We know that. We know that. So you're safe here. You don't need to say not all white people because we know. Let's see. Yeah, they're silly. People are, they try to gaslight you. They try to deflect what you're trying to say. Well, I'm not like that, and I'm white. I know, but you're still a part of the system. You're still a part of the, how this shit works. It's like T with Queen and Jay talked about it on their show Tuesday, how there are men being called out on their sexual assault behavior. People are coming out with stories about them, like popular shows or whatever. And one of the girls was saying that they were on a stage and one of the dudes lifted up her shirt and showed her breasts to the crowd. Like, this happened in a public space. That's fucking very sexual harassment. And she said it humiliated her. And the crowd was like, oh, and go in an uproar and like not necessarily egging it on, but like, oh shit, laughing at it. Like it wasn't some rapey ass shit for him to do that and humiliate her in public. And so these same dudes that's in the crowd would be the same ones that would be like, oh, you know, I don't fuck with niggas like that. I don't like niggas that do rapey shit. Oh, they'll denounce other rapey men who have been caught doing things, but they will try to distance themselves when really they are part of the problem. When it was happening in your face, you kind of just shrugged it off and said it wasn't your business, or laughed at it or joked about it and didn't do anything about it. You too are part of the rape culture. You too are a part of the system that allow these things to happen. And as soon as you figure out that you are a part of the problem too, you can be a part of fixing it. You can be a part of fixing it internally and then outwardly. You can be a part of calling it out every time you see it. So there's no such thing as locker room talk. So there's no such thing as boys will be boys mentality when shady ass shit happens. It's not just the fact that because we know that there are people, we're friends with somebody. Statistically, you're friends with a dude that raped somebody or sexual assaulted somebody or sexually harassed somebody. And so if you did the work to stop trying to distance yourself from it and understand that you are part of the system, even if you're not the one raping, if you're letting shit go, or you sweeping shit under the rug, if every time some sexual assault shit come up and you are saying, well, what about the false accusations? Well, what about the women who are lying? If you're trying to negate that small percentage, studies show that small percentage, if you're trying to negate the real stories with that small percentage of fake stories, you're a part of the problem. Sorry. Yes, if people are lying, they should be held accountable. But the small percentage of fake stories do not negate the huge percentage of real stories. So get the fuck out of here with that shit. And thanks for coming to my TED Talk. But yes, that's trash. I think that's super, super trash. If you find yourself defending these fucking buffoons, then you're trash. And it's the same thing with racists. If you find yourself defending racists with racial stereotypes, if you're just not studied enough to know the facts about race, then you're probably drenched with this racist system and you are a part of it. Even if you're not the person saying the N-word at Thanksgiving. If you're letting Uncle Billy Bob say it at Thanksgiving freely and you're just like, or sighing and not really bucking up against it while no black people around, you're a part of the problem because you make it normal. Alrighty. Hey, darling, thank you for the compliment. Hey, Guru. Exactly, they're making too many excuses for these things. Absolutely. So, let's see. Have we been on here? Okay, we've been on here long enough. So let's start. I wanted to talk about how many of y'all have done your Ancestry DNA, like, or have went and got like 23andMe or anything like that. I wanted to kind of talk about my results because I don't think I've ever done a video about my results, and I got my results so long ago. And so, I wanted to see if anybody had ever done it. And if you're watching, make sure you got thumbs up. You did yours in 2017. Were you surprised by your results? Was anything like new? I know, the conspiracy theorists are like, oh, I'm not giving my DNA to them people so they can use it to clone and create biological war weapons. I'm not saying that could never happen, but I don't. It's not that. I'm not that fearful. You were shocked, super shocked. Okay, that's good. Um, Never, sadly. Okay, I wanted to, but I ordered a kit from Ancestry DNA last year in December for $83 and never got it. You need to call them. You need to call them and get it. My mom did it, and she was contacted by her biological mom and brother because they also did 1 year. It connected me to my dad. That's wild. It sure did because he had done one. I already knew him, but he in his mind, me and my mom didn't know this. In his mind, he always had a maybe I was his and maybe I wasn't. And so this confirmed it. He still ain't shit, but yeah. um, yeah, so it definitely, and it connected me with other people, like my just all, it's tons of people that and what I'll do, this is what I'll do, which is kind of funny. Once they show me their name, I'll go search for them on Facebook. But they also connected me with this whole little group um of people. So let me show y'all. And they added me to this like group. Like my last name is Collier. Hey, I don't know if Milo is going crazy, but if he gets to acting funny, delete him, please. I don't know if his phone is broke or what's going on. But yes, they added me to this group and started telling me about like old family members, and they actually told me about people who had died. That old people, like super old, that would be they would be like 115 right now. And they gave me like pictures of their obituaries, and I was able to put some of them on my ancestor altar, which anybody who knows about ancestor altars, that's really powerful. Like pictures like these, like old school pictures of like my great great grandparents that I didn't know about. God, every time I'm trying to show something, get out. My great great grandparents, that nigga look like Barack Obama. Old pictures of like my great great aunts and stuff like that. Look at him. That's my great grandfather's brother. Ooh, look at her. That's so cute. I love that picture. She looks so strong. I love that picture. And they were sending me just old pictures. This is my Uncle Chin. This was like in the 20s. And so they're sending me, he looked like a Black Power, a old civil rights leader, honey. And so they send us all these kind of pictures. This is my uncle who worked in a factory. This is him at work. Um, this is a picture of them on the farm during slavery. Well, not slavery, during sharecropping. You see the horses? That's a carriage and horse. Then my last name is Collier. This is my Aunt Evie D. Collier. And so now, if you know anything about like Orisha worship and ancestry worship, you know that it's really important to have pictures on your altar of your family. And so having these pictures, this is my Aunt Sue, Pearl Carter Lewis. She passed in 2002. This is my great-grandfather, Frank Collier. So some of these I got through the site, and some of them I got through people I've connected with through the site. You feel what I'm saying? So like they'll send me, well, this is your great-great-grandmother's sister who is my great-grandmother. Like they'll show you connection to people that you heard about through conversations. Like my great-grandfather is named George Henry Collier. He has uncles that has daughters that have put their name, or grandchildren that have put their DNA through Ancestry DNA, that I found them and they showed me pictures of my uncles when they were little that has pictures of my grandfather in the pictures that have been lost, but somebody else had them. You feel what I'm saying? So I had pictures of different people. This is Clint Collier. He died in 2007. Joe Clint. So his father was a civil rights activist in Mississippi when all the civil rights was going on. He's one of the founding people who founded Tougaloo College. His family come from Louisiana, and where the Collier name come from is French. Yes. Let's see who else. Let's see who else can I find. And it's just tons of people. Sue Collier Stribling. Yeah, it's just really, really cool. This is my mother's, and my two little brothers. My mother is in the middle, and they're my two brothers. I don't know where I got that picture. I don't know why that picture popped up. You really made me want to do this even more, because it's opened up a completely new world of family history. Absolutely. So also, your family, if they have ever been in any kind of situation, any kind of history that's been documented, you'll be able to find them in newspaper clippings that they have connected to the name. So for example, I had a great aunt on my father's side, not a great aunt. She's my great aunt on my father's side, who died in a house fire. Her and a few of my cousins, like two cousins, died in a house fire in 1964 on 31st in Graceland, which is kind of freaky because I used to live on 32nd in Kenwood, which is like a block from where that house was. So it was kind of just strange that I grew up around the area that my great aunt had burned in a house fire in 1964. And so it was in the newspaper. I was able to look it up because they found newspapers with her name and what happened to her. And plus you get access to birth certificates and death certificates. So you can see how they died and what happened to them and all that kind of stuff. So they give you these kind of connections when you pay. So you initially pay for the test to be done for you to get your results, but then you can do like this subscription service to get this type of information. And I just thought it was worth it. And it wasn't expensive. I got it on like a little deal, so it was probably like $20 or something like that. It wasn't nothing. And I wanted the information because my mother being an only child, I don't have access to like a lot of the history. Definitely on my father's side, but definitely even on my mother's side, I can't get past my great-grandfather. I don't know. And also because I'm trans, that creates a barrier between me and people, okay, in my family. So like my grandfather, I would have loved to sit down and talk to him and talk about his mother and talk about his family. But my grandfather was transphobic as fuck. So I couldn't really sit down and talk to him without it turning into a negative thing about me being trans. You see what I'm saying? Like, I would have to be the fucking teacher and explaining about transness instead of me getting the information that I wanted to get about his history and his life. And no, Ancestry DNA is just what I chose. You can do 23andMe. You can do Ancestry DNA. There's a particular African one. They're quite expensive. So I never done that one. They're really expensive, but that's because they go really into detail down to like what tribe your bloodline is. Ancestry DNA can only give you the general area of where your bloodline is, but the African one can give you a really, really specific, and that's why it costs so much, because they really get specific. I think that's why it's cost so much. I don't know, but yeah. There's a really specific a black-owned one that, not to be shady and anti-black, but theirs is expensive. And I don't know exactly why, but they do go into more detail about the specific tribe you're on. So I guess if that's worth it, then go ahead. It wasn't worth it for me. I'm good knowing that what area my people from in regards to the area. What else? Yeah, so I did Ancestry DNA because at the time, that's just what came up. And I was like, oh, I'll do this. And I ordered it and went ahead and did it. There's another one that's more geared toward health, finding out what's in your DNA to make you more susceptible to health issues, what makes you more susceptible to like diabetes and cancer. Like if your DNA makes you more susceptible to those things, it can figure that out. So you can either change your diet to adjust or change your, you know what I'm saying? It's more geared toward health. There's another one. Hey, Yui, or UA. I always get your name wrong. UA. Yes, I think that's it. Yeah. Hey, Nubian Goddess. How are you? Deneen, is that you? I think that's you. Yeah. So y'all want to get into my results? Let's see. Let me go to. Let's go to what it says. All right, so in my ethnicity estimate, so how they figure out, it's just an estimation. It's like they can figure out the region where your blood comes from based on how you connect to all the people who have put their DNA in. And so I am 26%, I'm sorry, 26% Nigerian. So I personally didn't know where, I think it's called African Ancestry DNA. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, African Ancestry DNA. So my very, very top one and the most is Nigerian, 26%. My second from the top, which is 20%, is English, Wales, Northwestern Europe, so British people and the whites. 17%, almost equal to that, almost 3 down, is Congolese, Cameroon, Bantu people, those people, that's 17%. And under that one is 14% is Mali. Under that one at 7% is Ireland and Scotland. Under that one is 6% is Benin and Togo. I think that's how you say it. At 4% is Senegalese. At 4% is Swedish. At 2% is Guyanese. And that's it. So for me, it was a couple of things that were not a surprise. So based on what I knew of my family, I knew the plantation that my family came from. I knew that I was going to be a quintessential African-American slave mixture. So I knew that I was going to be some type of West African, and I knew that I was going to be some type of European, because I come from, my mother's side of the family comes from a plantation. Like, I knew our ancestry was directly connected to a plantation based on my grandmother's and grandfather's experiences, and my great grandmother's, who my great grandmother stayed alive till she was like 90 something, like 98 or something like that. So talking to her, and she was sharp. It wasn't like she was like deteriorating. She was sharp. So she was able to talk to you about stuff. So I knew the connection with her was to a plantation. Is your family's plantation in Louisiana? No, it was in Mississippi. The plantation owner was connected to Louisiana. But what was a surprise, what was quite a surprise, is that I didn't have any Native American. Now, part of it was a surprise, but part of it wasn't. I've watched Henry Louis Gates when he does the DNA all the time, and he says most African Americans don't have Native American in their blood. That think they do. Most of them don't. It's just white. And so I too had one of those families that was telling stories, as my grandmother would say. But I was like, they was lying. Talking about it was Native American, our family. So specifically, because we from Mississippi, they specifically would say Choctaw, because that's where that's the popular Native American tribe in Mississippi, in and around that area, was Choctaw Indian. And so when I would go down there, they would say, your great grandmother was a Choctaw. And when I would see pictures of her, we call her Mom B, because her name was Beatrice. And so I was like, when I would see her, she could be a Choctaw. She could be, but she could not be. I don't know. She definitely looked white. She didn't sound white, but she looked white. But what come to find out, she was really just biracial. Just a biracial girl that was passing for white. And when you go to DNA, when you go to AncestryDNA.com, they'll give you like the actual census from that year, from each of the years that people live. And with my aunt Ma B, you can see how her designation as Black and white changed. So there was a time when she did the census and she was considered white. They put her down as white, or she was passing as white. And then like in the 1800s, she was passing, not 1800s, early 1900s. So like 1910 or 1920, somewhere around there. It was white on the census. And when you get to the 30s and the 40s, I think the 40s is when it actually changed. So in the 30s she was mulatto, and in the 40s she was black. And so she went from, on the census, each census that we saw, she went from being white to being seen as mulatto, and then being black on the census, and black therefore on. So pictures of her, she looks like a white woman. No, she looks Indian. She looks Native American, not Indian. Native American. She looks, and that's what my grandparents called her. They called her, they country black folks from Mississippi. So they would, oh yeah, she's Indian. She's, they wouldn't say Native American. And so they would say, yeah, she. And then also my mother, or my father, my mother, when she saw my grandmother on my father's side, she was like, I just thought she was this big Indian woman. And I was like, when I saw my grandmother, she didn't look like an Indian woman. She just looked like a black woman to me. But I also have a different view of what a black woman looked like than my mother, because I see so many different type of black women in my particular, and I don't know why my mother didn't. I don't know. We have a different, it's very strange how we think about, I can see how my mother thought she was Indian, but when I saw her, I didn't get that. I just got a black woman with long hair. I didn't get that at all. And so, but when I looked at the results, and I looked at all the clipping from my father's side and my mother's side went to a plantation for a white man. And my father's side went to a plantation in Mississippi too. Two different plantations. One of their family went in the direction of like North Carolina and Ohio. My mother's side of the family went up like Indiana and Chicago, that area. So his family were from the plantation in Mississippi. My father's bloodline went from Mississippi, Alabama, all the way over Georgia, all the way over to North Carolina, and then to Ohio. But my mother's went Indiana, Chicago, and they kind of stayed in this general area from Mississippi up to Chicago, in that general area. I figured the natives were on the West Coast while we were on the plantations. No. You got to understand, the colonies, the Native Americans were all over this country. Like, they were all over North America, before these boundaries existed, they were everywhere. No, but the colonies were taking over that area. They were infiltrating. They were taking over land that was Native American land. That's what they were doing. And so there, when we talk about the Seminoles in Florida, when we talk about Choctaws in Mississippi, like, there's a map. You can look. If you Google a map of the nations of Native Americans prior to, you see that they were all over. They had all kinds of different tribes. Me and UA talk about this on Marsha's Plate, on her episode where she was a guest on the show, because she's a Navajo. And so no, I do. It could be, but I don't think that was connection at all. Me doing the research and me talking to other people, I don't think we had any connection to them at all. Yes, UA, we did an episode on the show, and she was talking about how Black Native Americans always get erased, and it bugs me, and that could exist. But my particular bloodline, I don't think that it was the case in my bloodline. I think that my grandmother was just passing, and based on the stories that I heard, and based on the things that that I connect the dots on. So, for example, her name is Beatrix Brown, and she actually came down from Chicago to Mississippi. When she was considered white, she came down and married a black man. And so in Mississippi, that's a whole crazy thing. To her, she was black, but she was like straddling that fence to be able to survive, but she was marrying a black man. So them together looked like a white woman and a black man together. But it was just a black woman and a black man. She just so happened to look white. And so that caused a big issue where they were. You see what I'm saying? Because it's Mississippi in the South during this crazy pre-civil rights time. And so you being a white woman with a black man was like, right. So exactly. So to her, she was black, but she also was straddling that fence of reaping the benefits of sometimes, sometimes I can get some shit with being a white woman. I can go to specific stores. I can go to specific things. And so her being looking the part, clearly when she stayed in a particular area and people knew that she was a black woman, they forced her to put that she was black on the census. They forced her to put that she was mulatto on the census on the 30s, and then in the 40s they forced her to put that she was black. And so they give you all this information. They give you all this information on Ancestry. It's like they give you have to connect these dots. Like you gotta, I remember I got the census, so I know how she was registered on the census. I found her sister who was Katie Brown, who doesn't look white. Katie Brown, also a black girl, but doesn't look white. And they had the same, they definitely had the same mother. I couldn't figure out the father part. I couldn't figure if they had a different father, but definitely had the same black mother. And Katie came down to stay with Mom Beatrice, my grandmother. And apparently that's when like her non-white tea was clocked or something. And my aunt, when I talk to how you connect the dots is you talk to other people, your cousins and your second cousins and your third cousins to give you some history. So I got this history from Katie B's grandchildren. Do you see what I'm saying? That knew her story through their mother, through their grandmother, blah, 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 blah. So you find these people and they give you the story from their perspective. Does it make sense? I hope that makes sense. So you're connecting, you get connected to your cousins and they'll tell you a story that you didn't know that perspective about, because I didn't hear about my Mom B's sister, Katie. I didn't hear about her. And so until I met her cousins through Ancestry DNA, my cousins, then I can talk to them and ask them, and they say, oh yes, Katie B is Mom B's sister. And this is the story that she gave me. So you get all of this lesson, this story and what happened, and you can connect it through like newspaper clippings or birth certificates and death certificates and all that kind of stuff. Marriage license, shit like that. Yeah, that's where you get all these Native American names like Mississippi, that's a Native American name. Illinois, Idaho, Tallahassee. Yes. If I'm not mistaken, all these names were from tribes that were all over North America. Yes. Yes, there's tons, especially when you go, it's there like which is the irony. Like these names are Native American names, and then y'all have colonized them to where Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, all these names you associate with Southern white heritage. And it ain't even your fucking heritage. Fuck out of here. It's an oversimplification, but I've heard that many black white mixed folks who couldn't pass for white would identify as Native American instead. Sometimes I think that's honest sometimes. Especially if it may, and you gotta understand how anti-blackness works. Sometimes um just being black wouldn't get you in the door. But being special kind of black, mixed black, biracial black, Native American, anything but black could get you in the door and get you to be seen as a better type of Negro, even if you wasn't, you know what I'm saying, just because you wasn't full black. Yeah, it's that's just the way it was. And they were trying to do whatever they can to make it work. Let's see. I remember some tribes in the southeast also got listed as black because census didn't allow for a native label. Very black and white categories back in the day. Also, census people chose your race, not you. Exactly, that's true. And that's why my mom B had to, when they found out that she wasn't white, because when she was single and not married to the black man, when her sister was living with her, they just thought she was white and the sister was like a maid. But when she got married to the black man, you couldn't legally marry a black man. And so when they come and when the police is like, what the fuck? Why is this white woman with a black man? And why? You know what I'm saying? It started to be like, what is going on here? And when the tea all came out that she wasn't white, oh, you about to put mulatto on this census. So that was a surprise for me in regards to my results, not having, because everybody was like, well, you look like you could be Native American. But I'm like, sweetheart, like I look like I could be, you know, just a slave. The results of some slavery shit. I don't need to be white. Hold on, let me see if this is my package. Damn. It's not. Right. It could just be the results of some slavery shit. So that was a surprise to me that there was literally no Native American after my family had said, you have some Native American. And that's what, and Janine, that's what I feel. I don't feel like I feel like because I know tons of black girls in my family that look like me. So it didn't seem, but even like I remember seeing recently about this Creole family in Louisiana that a lot of them they look white, but if you hear their voice, like you can tell they're black. Like you can, and so people were in the comments of the video, like, oh, them is white people. And da, da, da. I'm like, I have so many black women in my family that look like this. So this is not abnormal to me. I come from a very yeah, like let me show you my uncle. I got families in my fucking tree that you can't. Hold on. Let's see if I can find it for y'all. There's people in my family that if you look at them, they could easily, like, especially there's some guys or some girls, they could easily be white men. Let's see if I can find it. Like, or another race. For example, this is my Uncle Jim. My Uncle Jim. Don't he look like a regular old Mexican? But he's black. Black mama, black daddy. Here him. There's him again. He looked white. In this picture, he looked white. Let me see if I can find my uncle. This is David. This is my cousin David, but David only looks black when he let his hair grow out. But when he cut all that hair off and his just his face and skin, he looked like a white man. That's the one that I just showed y'all that looked Mexican. That's him and his wife when they were in high school. But he was fine. He went to Jackson State. The reason why I went to Jackson State is because my uncle Jim went to this is him and his slime brothers. They Sigmas. This is him and his line brother. He looked like the white man in the middle of all them black dudes, but he's a black man. This is my Uncle Jack. He ugly. My Uncle Jack. This is my Uncle Jerry. With his black wife. They all got black wives because they black. He looked extra tan. It must have been summertime because he usually is pale, light skin. But yes. So yeah, so that was a really so I'm used to black people looking ambiguous, and we're just they're black. Like I never we come from plantation life. So there's gonna be some mulattoes, there's gonna be some dark ones, there's gonna be some light ones, there's gonna be some brown ones. That's just how our family was. So, that's just I don't remember. I don't have a mentality that even like when dudes ask me, am I mixed? I'm like, no, I'm not mixed. I'm just black. You ain't never met a light-skinned black girl? Like, it always annoys me. Like, it's normal. But I guess it may not be normal to other people. So it was surprising. That part of it, the Nigerian and the West African and the English, I knew that there was going to be that. I also knew about the Irish because we knew that there was a white side of our family that was Irish, that was Ireland, that was from Ireland. That was not a surprise. We heard that all the time. Yeah, so I knew the Congolese was kind of interesting. The Congolese stuff was kind of interesting. So, but it also showed you the plantations that you were from. So the early Virginian African Americans and the early Mississippian African Americans. It breaks it all down to where those regions come from. Central Mississippi. I am from Leake County, Mississippi. Anybody who know anything about Mississippi, that is Central Mississippi. So they could narrow it down to even the area of Mississippi. It literally says Central Mississippi. So I'm from Leake County, Mississippi, which is the middle. My family is from Leake County, Mississippi, which is the smack dab in the middle of Mississippi. Like, you can't get no more central than Leake County. So yes, let me see. What questions? Have you spoken to your mom about the results? Was she surprised with any of it? I'm sure the Irish had her shocked. No. We knew about the Irish because we knew about the white people who were our owners, and we knew about just shit like that. We knew about all of that stuff. Yeah, I'm not surprised about Nigerian, Senegalese. I knew any of the African. I wasn't surprised because we were enslaved, so I knew it was some type of West African. whether it be Congolese, which it shows on there, Senegalese, which shows on there, Nigerian. I knew it was something from them. Hey, Deshaun, how are you? As a Latino, I never noticed other Latinos I grew up with were white looking until I became an adult. Yes, yes, and also notice that there's a colorism within the Latinx community. There's a colorism there where your ability to blend in with whiteness give you access to white privilege. Not full access, but it does give you access and opens up door to you because you look like a white Latin person, as opposed to if you look like a brown skinned, dark skinned Latinx person. That's a total different experiences of life and privilege. That's totally different. Um, and it's the same thing with me. When you started knowing the context, Mo, that's just how it is. You start learning more context. You start learning more how these dynamics affect your life, and how, excuse me, and how they don't. Yeah, your Uncle Jim looks like a regular white man. Yeah, he does. People gag at when he was. I actually thought he looked more black when he was younger, but as he got older, oh, he started looking like a whole white man. All the white actors are used on Spanish novellas. Yeah, the same thing. That's a perfect little microcosm of how, I ain't never seen on a novella, I ain't never seen no dark skinned main characters. Come to think about it, no, I've never had seen them. This is interesting. I want to do it, but I always put it off. Yeah, I just went ahead and did it when I got a little extra money. I got it on sale for like 59. I got a little deal, little discount, some little promotion they was running, and I did it. Yeah, Afro Latinx folks. So let's see. Let me see what else they tell you. So when you do, I wish we were on Zoom so I can share my my information with y'all. Um, they give you this little why is it doing this? And so it gives you this tree. So once you start your family tree, man, they start hinting. They give you these little hints. And so, I don't know if I can. Tell me if this link works. I don't know if this link will work. Click that and tell me if it clicks out to my family tree. Because what happens is once you start doing your tree and you go off the names that you already know, right? So it's already names that you know. So you know your mama's name, you know your father's name, you know you may know your grandma. So you put everything that you know. And what they will do is based on what other people have put up, you can um you can connect the dots through birth certificates, connect the dots through death certificates, connect the dots through census, connect the dots through ledgers like slave ledgers. They have all of that information, so you can see. Like I can't get past the 1700s on some people. Come on, stimulus check. Hey, hey, Kayla. Hey, Marissa. How are you? Or is that Kayla? Yeah. I know in Native communities, getting your DNA results is like frowned upon because of tradition about giving your bodily fluids to strangers, etc. In addition, me and Native have different definitions of that. Yes, I got my stimulus check, baby. I actually got, instead of getting the basic 1,200, I got actual 2,400 because they sent me my husband's check too. um, I am good. I am doing well too. I just ate a watermelon. It is so good and so sweet. And I drunk a Corona. I bought like a case of Coronas for Cinco de Mayo. And honey, honey, a husband. Yes, I am technically married. I've been married since 2014. Yeah, 2014. But I'm not romantically married. hmm Just for Kiki's reboot. There is not a Just for Kiki's reboot. That is, um, me and Barrett are not even friends no more. I don't know what he was thinking, but he's selfish and you know, like so we're not friends no more. Selfish and fake. What else? I got pretty tipsy myself last night off of I don't know how to pronounce that, but I love tacos. He is an assailed, and I don't even know him, or an asshole. Well, we are both assholes in the same kind of way, but the difference between me and him is that when you're an asshole to me, I'm not gonna take it personally because I know that's just how we are if we have that type of relationship. But when you're an asshole to him, he gets in his feelings. Like he could talk like let me tell you why we fell out, just so you can understand why we fell out. So we have been friends for years and years and years and years. And one of our ways that our friendship manifested is that we were not necessarily hurt. We were trolling people online. That was our fun. That was our fun. So back in the day, Facebook would let you lock people into threads. So now y'all know when you get in a group message, you can remove yourself from a group message, right? It used to be where you couldn't remove yourself. Even if you delete it, you would get the message just based on you adding somebody as your friend and them adding you to the group. So we would purposely add people to throw them into the group. And then start posting porn pictures because at the time, Messenger, you couldn't flag it. You could flag posts, but you couldn't flag the Messenger because they felt like it's friends. So why do we need to monitor that? So we would put people into big mass groups and just keep hitting them up with gay shit and civil rights shit. And we're trolling them. We're being funny. We'll roast them and their kids. This was a group of people that we did this with. And so that was our fun, being assholes. And we had a system where if you make people go off, like if you make people go off and block you, you get a point. We called it a breaking point. So sometimes it would lead to people getting fired. Sometimes the trolling went offline. Sometimes if you were on the outside looking in, the trolling would be very, very, very inappropriate. But that was the point. The point was to see how far you go. That was the point. It was like the point of the group was called Mayhem. It's to push the buttons. And so if we're roasting you, your kids is not exempt. Nothing is exempt. We can go as far as we want. Long as we get you to block us, that's how we earn the point. Long as we get you to getting your feelings, long as we get you to do that. So we were in a group like that for a very, very long time. And so there was this girl. The good old days. Yeah. So there was this girl back in the day. Maybe this is like 10 years ago, maybe. It has to be like 10 years ago. So there was a girl who found out that they, this ain't funny, but it is kind of funny. There was a girl who found out that the cemetery people who buried her mother in the wrong grave. Wrong cemetery, wrong grave. So she had been coming to a cemetery plot that wasn't her mother for so long and found out that it wasn't her mother. And you know how people had the abbreviations for what would Jesus do? What would Jesus do? Barrett would talk about the girl, talk about that, like where my mama at. He would do the abbreviation of where my mama at. And he would make pictures like memes of a skeleton with a question mark on it, like where I'm at. So I'm just trying to give y'all a picture of how rude and inappropriate this group was. The group, everybody in it was rude and inappropriate. There could be trans jokes. There could be, it's going to be memes made, but everything stayed within the group. So everybody who participated in the group liked that kind of humor. We like that kind of humor. We like that. It's a different side of us. We would never put this out publicly. It only stayed in the group. So, but nobody was exempt. Even the people in the group. If something happened to you, you are a part of the joke too. So if you're in the group, you know that is a part of the nature of the group. And so the worst two people in the group who always had tons of breaking points was Barrett and me. So we were considered the kings and the queens of the thing. So nobody was in. I'm talking about trans jokes. I'd have been called all kinds of disrespectful trans stuff. But because it's in the group, we just going to roll with the punches. And I'm going to read you. You're going to read me. Blah, 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 blah. So it don't matter. So recently, maybe 2 years ago, a year ago, Barrett's grandmother dies. His grandmother dies, and she's 92. So this whole time, you have been going too far about other people's lives, about other people's situations, about the death of other people's shit. But now your grandmother is his. I'm like, oh, we about to wear you out. We about to light you up. So that's what it was. So I get to roasting his old ass grandma dying. And he gets in his feelings about it. Now, it's not that I don't understand you getting your feelings about your grandmother dying. It's not that I don't understand that. It's that you know what this is. We've been doing this for 10 years. So you know you're not exempt, motherfucker. You know you're not exempt to us reading your dead ass grandma, because you've been reading people, remember what I told y'all, he was the king, I was the queen. He'd been inappropriately reading people about AIDS, inappropriately reading people about people's death. This is the type of morbid humor that this group was founded on for 10 years. So now that your grandma, old ass, dusty ass grandma done died, I'm supposed to stop? That's the point. And so he couldn't take, and he got in his feelings, and he deleted me. And so, no. Yeah, he deleted me. He didn't block me. But we had all types of other friends together, like people within the group and people outside of the group. We had friends together. And so he was trying to convince them to delete me too. And I'm like, nigga, ain't nobody gonna delete me for your ass. And none of them did. and I didn't like the fact that he could see my messages to other people. Like he could see my funny jokes that I put on our mutual friends page. And I don't like you to be able to see my jokes if we not friends, girl. So I blocked him. Get out of here. You don't need to, I don't want to entertain you. You're not about to get my entertainment and you being shady and late because your old fucking 90-year-old grandma is dead. So recently, right before COVID, or like right when COVID hit a peak, his father dies. So sad, so true. So he was scared that he didn't want the other people to tell me that his pops died. Now, I love his pops. His pops is so sweet and was so nice to me when I came to Chicago. So I can't say that I would have. I probably would have. I probably would have roasted him just because that was the nature of the group. But because I wasn't in the group no more, it was just kind of strange. It just would have been strange. And so I hit him up and I say, I don't know what, because he started telling people not to tell me. I'm like, nigga, first of all, they gonna tell me like they did. They did tell me that. They gonna tell me. And nigga, I don't know. I felt bad for him. Devon is my friend. He's not talking about me. Devon, you was in there. We used to roast your ass too. But I sent him a text, and now he's trying to reboot Just for Kikis because we did back years ago. This was like 10 years ago. We did a collab channel on YouTube called Just for Kikis, JUST, the number 4 KIKI, and it was like a funny, funny thing. And so he's trying to do. He did this fake reboot of it using some of the old footage and sent it to all of us. I guess that was his olive branch or whatever. And it was funny. It was entertaining, but he hasn't came back and apologized because I just thought he was fake. It's not that I don't understand you having an issue, you and your feelings about your dead people, but you can't be sensitive about talking about somebody roasting your dead people when you have spent 10 years roasting people inappropriately about shit. You can't, if you can dish it out, you should be able to take it. And so I felt like he wasn't being honest. I think he was being fake. You wasn't taking what you was able to dish out. And girl, you got to your breaking point. So I earned my point. The motherfucking queen. Thank you. Good day. But yes, anyway. So, wait. Let me scroll up. I've been loving Marsha's play. I'm listening to it when I'm getting ready for the day. I know that's real. Thank you. We are really not struggling to get content out, but we are really enjoying this quarantine because we really can focus on talking about stuff. We have 2 episodes recorded, and I don't know which one I'm going to put out tonight. I think it's going to be the one about, I don't know. But we talked about, Z is thinking about having a baby, but he also got his top surgery scheduled. So, but he also thinks it's important to breastfeed. So we have this really, really strange conversation about breastfeeding, and I don't want to ruin it for y'all by telling y'all what we talked about. But being that he's in a relationship with a trans woman and he's a trans man, and they're thinking about Zaire, my co-host. He's thinking about having a baby, but he's thinking about he's getting top surgery within the next two months or whatever. So he was like, but I want to have a baby. So he's like in that space, and he has this weird idea about breastfeeding that I'm like, that's a little too strange for me, but that's y'all business. So I want y'all to hear it and tell me what y'all think. We recorded it, and I don't know if I'm gonna put it out this week or next week because I have two that I can either put out that we've recorded already. But it's really strange. Strange to me, but not to him, I guess. Yes, he can't wait until after the baby, I'm sure. Well, the reason why he was considering was waiting, some people just want to get rid of them. They don't want to deal with the dysphoria that comes with getting bigger boobs just because you had a baby. Because he has to stop hormones. It's just a whole. We go into all the details, so listen to the show. It's a lot, and he explains why he's considering it and why it might be a fix. The fucking band is hurting my head. Woo! Yes. Oh, I almost forgot to ask this. Can you say the show to watch for Friday again? It is. It's not a show. It is a show. Yes, it is. It's not on. It's not on like Netflix or anything. It's on YouTube, and their show is called Grapevine. It is a panel show where it's a bunch of panels, and so they're still doing the panel show, but they're doing it on Zoom. I'm actually thinking about doing a Zoom call for people who want to do a Zoom call with me. Let me know. And yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do a Zoom call with everybody where we're talking about a particular subject. That would be fun. But yes, their name of the show is called The Grapevine. I love The Grapevine, and they had an interesting conversation about Native American people and Black people's like relationship. I have been missing Marsha's Play because I usually listen to y'all while I drive. That's fun. It is true. Me and my podcast friends have been talking about our our analytics, and we've got a surge of new people, but it seems like old people who usually listen to us on their commute are not listening. Like, so we're getting responses from a lot of new people, but old people are like, I used to listen to y'all when I would commute to work, or I used to listen to y'all when like you said, we're driving, but they haven't. And I'm like, what is going on? Grapevine, I need you on. So I was supposed to be on Grapevine years ago. But I wasn't in New York, and you had to be in New York to be able to be on the show because they bring you to the little recording places. And so if y'all remember the very first episode that that Teague Milan was on, that I was supposed to be on that one, but I wasn't able to go to New York. Yeah. And Ashley Uchechi, Aisha, and Jameer, and Latasha, they all came to Marsha's Plate live show in last June, a year ago. We had our live show for World Pride. We had our live show for World Pride. They all came to that. I was so excited. I would love to have a video with you and Kiki. Yes, if she ever comes back to Houston, we have talked about her coming and being a part of it. But also, we don't really have anything. We wouldn't have anything to talk about. So I almost would think that it was kind of fake just having her on as a celebrity. But we're not close. But we have talked about her coming on. So we have talked about it. And so I'm sure she would. So it's not that she wouldn't, but she's a church girl and our lives don't mesh well. Just keeping it gutter. She's a church girl and she's definitely quote unquote LGBT friendly. Absolutely, because her family is, and but you can be LGBT friendly and you don't agree with the like everything about it because it's religiously, it doesn't go along with you religiously. And so I can't say that she's problematic because she's friendly at all. She's super, super friendly. And won't let anybody say anything negative to you. You feel what I'm saying? But we don't align. You feel what I'm saying? So it almost would be like I would just be having her on just because she's Kiki Wyatt. But if I think about something, because we have talked about her being on, so that's not a thing. It's not like unrealistic to have her on. I hope that makes sense. Well, I'll fuck with you, but yeah, I gotta go. I'll talk to you later. All right, Divine. Bye. Yes. Who else? I would love. I'm trying to get Jahira on. I might hit her up after this. Jahira, because I really like her because she's super dope. Aria Saeed from San Francisco. I really like her. I already had Jessica on. There's some people that I just don't like. Trace just hit me up on Instagram. She just hit me up. I might have Trace on. Yeah, that would be cool. She just doesn't live in the area. But I guess we could do a Zoom. That would be fun. Yeah, I'll hit her up and see what's up. I love Trace. I love Trace. She's cool as fuck. She's from Dayton, and that's right next to Indianapolis. So us growing up, we grew up around the same people. So that's our connection. And so we met for the first time at the Latex Ball in like 2013. What has been your most talked about story time? Meeting the man of my dreams. That is the most popular story that everybody brings up. Eric Nalechi, in memory of Eric Nalechi. The woman dress. Yeah, those are the top three that everybody mentions if I'm talking about a story. Of course, they mention Love Beneath but that's like a lot of parts. So different parts resonate with different people, and so yeah. I am close to holiday. Yeah, I haven't. I am close to holiday. That would be a great show. I like holiday. Thank you, Logan. Yeah, Holiday would be a great guest, but Holiday be busy all the damn time. I've been trying to get him on. Even when we were at B Tech together, he'd be busy. Jayla Sims, I would love to do some music. Any like artist, I would love to do some music with some artists because that's fun to me. So like Jayla Sims, I would love to do a song with her. Shea Diamond, um, those people. Eli Connolly, he's a white trans man. I think he's white. I think so. Um, yeah. Mm, 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 mm. Yes. What else? What else? What else? Oh, you know what? I wanted to, mm, for the last 30 minutes, you can interview her about her experience with making the band. Yeah, I love Jayla. She's cool. Cat Black. I love Cat Black. Cat Black is cool. Um, hmm. Yeah, Cat Black. Any chance we get, I'm gonna have her on the show. Um, with me. I don't really go to California that much. And usually when I'm going to California, y'all know I like in-person stuff. So but I guess this Rona shit got you forced to do like remote. So, okay. So this is what I'm going to do. Have y'all ever played this? So it's called God Hates Charades. So I'm going to pick an actor and then pick a scenario. This is how it works. I'm supposed to get y'all to um, pick the actor doing the scenario without saying what's on the cards in any kind of way. So let's give a perfect example. All right. Yes, it's a perfect time to collaborate. So I'm going to do it 10 times. And whoever says it, I'm going to send you some coins um, on Cash App. You just got to put your Cash App up. All right. So this is just a practice run. All right. So let's see. So you pick the actor, and you got to say the whole thing. You pick the actor and the scenario. So the actor is she's a Holocaust icon. She's a little girl. She's like a hide and seek champ. She hides from the Jewish people. Um, and yeah, so who is that? She's like a this is the actor doing the scenario. So she's like okay, so Deneen, you got the actor. So that person and Frank doing this is the scenario she's in. Um Not Aunt Frank and Frank. Um so yes. So she's what is she doing? So she's like so it's the opposite of adult, opposite of adult, and um she's talking to them. It's another word for talking, but starts with a T. Story starts with a T. She's talking to the opposite of an adult, but it starts with a T and it usually follows story. Let's see if I got that. So Anne Frank is not teasing. Um, Not teasing. That's the wrong word. And Telling is the right word. So Anne Frank is now children is plural, it's not plural. So the singular version of children. Hey, Andy. Anne Frank is telling the children's stories. No. Take stories off and don't use plural. Yes. Yes. So Anne Frank is telling the child, because y'all said that. So Anne Frank is telling the child, what do children do when they are, what do not just children, anybody do when they're sleeping? It's another word for like imagining, pretending, but you do it when you're sleeping. Okay. Anne Frank is telling the children, what is the possessive, oh, how do you do this? The possessive, think about possessive of the dream. Think about Anne Frank is telling the children possessive. Think about the word that connotes possessive. Like it's mine. But it sounds like a non-binary pronoun. No, not keep dreaming. This is called God hates charades. So it's negative. It's not gonna be positive. Anne Frank is telling the children to go to their dreams. Close, but no. Yes, take the that part before they are off. And don't use plural. What do you call, what's the opposite of smart? What's the opposite of smart? So Anne Frank is telling the child something about their dream. What's the opposite of smart? So if Anne Frank was a bad guidance counselor, it's something negative, right? So think if she was a bad guidance counselor and the child was coming telling her the dreams, and she was like, and Anne Frank was like, no, that's the opposite of smart. Anne Frank is telling a child their dream is stupid. Boom. Ari, you got it. So Anne Frank is telling a child that their dream is stupid. So that's how the game works. You pick an actor and then you pick the scenario, and y'all have to do exactly what Henri Noel, is that how you say it? Henri Noel? Henri? Got it? All right. So let me, Henri, yeah. I'm doing this now because we did this on our Marsha's Plate Live, and it was so fun. But we were on a Zoom call, so we always be able to hear each other. And y'all didn't have to watch it here. I didn't have to be just the only actor. All right, so this one you get to win. All right, so the actor, the scenario. This entity comes when it's your time to go on out. When it's your time to be done with the world. Um, it is. Hmm. No, it's an entity. It could be a type of angel. But they call it the angel of this. Not what? What's another name for Grim Reaper? Um, um, it's a. It's one word. They call it a person. No, take angel off. Just that word. It's one word. It's one word. Don't take angel off altogether. Yeah. So death. So the death is the actor. The scenario is um 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 opposite of Pepsi. Um um and mm, um death on a coke trip. No. Um what's the name of the drink and what do you do with the drink? What's the name of the drink? Full name, not just the short name. The full name. So death is the actor. So the actor is always doing something. And that's the scenario. So death is that drink. Yes, yes. Okay, boom. Brandon, you don't got the total thing. You got the beginning. That's the beginning. Um, it's a popular candy that feels funny in your mouth because it's a popular candy. It feels funny in your mouth. So death is drinking Coca-Cola and this candy. It's like a funny at the same. Yes, but say it all together, but add at the end the common tongue for saying simultaneous. At the end of that sentence is a common tongue for me that means simultaneously. Ari got it again. Yes. Death is drinking Coca Cola and Pop Rocks at the same time. Death, drinking Coca Cola and Pop Rocks at the same time. Easy. What's your cash app, Ari? That was the first round. Who do you want it to give it to? Because that's all I got. I don't got no Venmo. Unless you just want to pass to the next one. And I'll add it to the next winner. Okay, I'll add it for the next. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Oh yeah, Yui did do it. She is that what the one you said it? Oh, Yui did come before you. She did say it. So I'll send it to Yui. What's your Cash App, Yui? I didn't see that. Oh, y'all being real nice. You can when you get it, you can give it to somebody else. What is your Cash App? Bam. All right, here we go. All right, so the second one. Here we go. Um. All right, he's the rich guy from The Simpsons. The rich old guy. You gotta say the whole name. It can't be just small. You gotta say the whole. What is his name? He's the rich guy, the rich old guy from. You gotta say his whole name, not his whole name. That's wrong. It's close to right, but it's kind of wrong. It's like you're you're extending one part and what is Monty short for? Yes. And then yes, so the whole name, but just do the letter for the first name. Just do the letter for the first name. But now add the full middle name. Boom. C. Montgomery Burns, that's the actor. So C. Montgomery Burns, he's doing something that internet women complain about that dudes do that has something to do with their body parts on a very popular app. No, that's wrong. He's doing this thing that we all complain about. Dudes do to women, inappropriate, explicit thing on a very popular app. Mo, that's the beginning. Yes, that's the beginning. But what's the app? More inappropriate. More specific, Deneen, Nubian goddess. More specific, like Mo did. See, Montgomery Burns is doing this on this. Not Tinder. It's not Instagram. It's not Tinder. Yes, Mo got it. Mo got it. See, Montgomery Burns is sending a dick picture on Snapchat. All righty. What's yours? All right, Mo. What is your Instagram? I mean, not Instagram. What is your Snapchat? You can. Okay. So we added to this one. All right. Okay, this is a cool one. A lot of Black people call this person a coon. They are a part of the Trump administration. They are a neurosurgeon. That y'all should know who that is. Yes, but what's his title? Henri. That's the name, but what's his title? Yep. He's a coon. But what's his title? Like what does he actually do? What's the title of a person who's a neurosurgeon? He is the head of HUD, but I'm talking about like a really simple title. Like Heathcliff Constable was this. Very simple title. Yes. Yeah. Mo has it, but short. So just say the full name. Title and full name. Yes, that's what he is. So what's that? What's that? So say the full thing. Yep. Dr. Ben Carson. So Dr. Ben Carson is Mm, he is doing okay. When you die, they put you in one of these, and you're doing it. He's doing it himself. He's making it himself, like he's a carpenter. He's making himself. He's making the thing that they put you in when you die. So the name of the actor in this is what he's doing. He's when you whatever they put you in when you die, you're making it. No, whatever they put you in when you die, he's making it. But it's another word for making it. Say it all together. Nubian, yay, then you got it. So you're the first one who said it. Dr. Ben Carson is building their own coffin. Not digging a grave. What's your cash out? These cards are shady. All right. All right, let's see. Let's see the next one. This is funny. All right, so this is the person. This is a Christmas character. He melts. Y'all gotta get this one. The whole name. He melts. Like over time, he melts. Christmas character, and he is doing a nasty in a type of circus car. Jack Frost is not the name. Frosty the Snowman is the actor. Frosty the Snowman, so that y'all got that. So he's doing the nasty in a type of car that you would see at a circus. He's doing the nasty in that type of car. But I can't say the word, so I'm not saying the word. So Frosty the Snowman is doing the nasty in this type of car. And it's a type of vehicle that you would see at a circus. Frosty the Snowman is having sex in a clown car. Boom, Mo did it again. Let's see. So yes, Frosty the Snowman is having sex in a clown car. So Mo, you didn't do it again. So we're going to... All right. So one more. Mo is wearing it out. All right. This is the last one. So let's see. He's really nice. He used to come on. He come on PBS. Really nice guy. Land of Make Believe. The main dude. Who is he? Land of Make Believe. PBS. Boom. Mr. Rogers. Boom. All right. So this is him doing. This is horrible to do. Like, this is really mean. You don't do this. He's doing this to the people that his show was to. he's doing this to them. Like he, well, no, a younger version. The crowd that his show was for, even younger. He's doing something that is when something is easy to do, it's a little figure of speech that people say. It's like, no, not sex. When something is easy to do, like a scheme is easy to do, they use this figure of speech, and it's Mr. Rogers doing that figure of speech. What does it mean when you take something that's not yours? God, you got it again, Denise. Yes, Mr. Rogers is stealing candy from babies. That is what it is. Yes, you brought that out. And that's it, y'all. I love that game. I love this game. I love it in person too. We do this during holidays. Me and my friends. We bring while we're eating, we play this game. And it's so fun. But whoever wins, they gotta get up and do it. Okay. Mo, I'll send that to them. Let me see. What is it? Hold on, let me scroll up to make sure I get it. Ken Boy. Ken Boy. Is that right? So $ Ken Boy. No, it's not letting me do it. Ken Bar. Okay. I sent yours again. I sent you two, Denise. Ken Bar. So Kenny Barrar Cruz. Kennedy Barrar Cruz. How is he gonna know? Do you want me to put I'm gonna put a little note saying that I want to put a little note on your friends to tell him that you want it for him. How do you say that? Say, what's your name? What's your name that he would recognize? Oh, okay. I just put yours all together. Hey, that was fun. I love it. That's what the kids were doing. I was watching we were on Instagram and I was playing this. It wasn't this. It was these kids. They're, the little Gen Zers, and they were on Instagram, and so they were on live. So one person would be on live. It was two people, and they would ask a question, and the first person who would answer it in their lives, they would send them $1. They would send them $1, and so they would send them something, $5 or $1 or something, and each person that answered the question, they would answer it. And it was quite fun. So I thought that would be fun. The kids, the babies out here, the Zen Zers, The Gen Zers. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do that. That is so fun. Yes. So, all right, y'all. Well, I will definitely be back Friday to talk about the episode with um particularly the Asian part, the part about Asian American in regards to Black Americans. And I wanted y'all to listen to the conversation on Grapevine, listen to the conversation, and I will talk about it on Friday. So see y'all later. Bye bye. Oh, y'all gotta, I gotta promote the stuff. So if you are just the first time listening, the first time tuning in, make sure you follow my podcast, Marsha's Play. All the links are going to be down in the bottom. We post a show every Thursday. What else? You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, anywhere at Diamond Styles, everywhere. Marsha's Plate. Or Diamond Styles for my personal page, March's Plate for the podcast. I have two other co-hosts. If you go to the profile of March's Plate, you can find our individual thing. But I am Diamond Styles everywhere. DIAMONDSTYLZ as in zebra. So yes, you can follow me on all my platforms. I'm usually more active on Instagram, yeah, Twitter and Facebook. So hit me up. Bye, y'all, and make sure you like if you enjoyed it. All right, bye bye.